Assalamualaikum. Introduction to geometry, sequence, and series. This is the second type of sequence. So last class we discussed the first type of sequence, which is arithmetic sequence. So let's look into geometric sequence. Geometric sequence is a sequence of numbers where successive term after the predecessor is obtained by multiplying a number known as common ratio to predecessor. If the first term in a geometric sequence is A and the common ratio is R, so that the geometric sequence can be written as AR, AR squared, AR cubed, and so on. Okay, the difference between geometric sequence and arithmetic sequence. In arithmetic sequence, we have D, which is the common difference. But in geometric sequence, we have R, which is the common ratio. Okay, the general term or nth term. The formula to find term. Tn equal A multiplied by R power n minus 1. Where A is the first term, this is the same as arithmetic sequence. And then we have R, the common ratio, and the number of terms. How to find common ratio? R equal T n plus 1 over T n. So term divided by the previous term. For example, if you have T3 and T2, to find common ratio, R equal T3 over T2. If you have T4 and T3, to find common ratio, R equal T4 divided by T3. In arithmetic sequence, we use common difference. To find common difference, T n plus 1 minus Tn. So a term minus with the previous term. But in geometric sequence, we use common ratio, so we will divide. And the third formula is to find the sum of nth term. There are two formulas. Number one is when value of R more than 1. And the second formula is for when value of R less than 1. So let's look at the first formula. When R equal to 1, Sn, to find sum of nth term equal A, multiplied by R power n minus 1 over R minus 1. Since R more than 1, so R is bigger than 1, so look at the formula R minus 1. The second formula is for when R less than 1. So for this one, formula to find sum of nth term Sn equal A multiplied by 1 minus R power n over 1 minus R. So when R is less than 1, look at the formula 1 minus R. Okay, again, in geometric sequence, we have common ratio. To find R equal term divided by the previous term. And then formula to find term Tn equal A multiply R power n minus 1. And formula to find sum of nth term. Okay, there are two of them. One is for when R more than 1 and the other is for when R less than 1. When R more than 1, Sn equal A multiplied by R power n minus 1 over R minus 1. And for when R less than 1, Sn equal A multiplied by 1 minus R power n over 1 minus R. Okay, let's try to solve some question from the book. Let's start from example 3. This one is from page 149 in your book. Example 3, we want to determine whether the following sequence is a geometric sequence or not. So remember, geometric sequence must have common ratio. Okay, question C. The sequence is negative 4, negative 8, and negative 6. Negative 16. So negative 4 is the first term, negative 8 second term, negative 16 third term. So to find R, we can divide T2 divided by T1 or T3 divided by T2. So T2, negative 8 divided by negative 4. And then T3, negative 16 divided by negative 8. Negative 8 divided by negative 4 is 2. Negative 16 divided by negative 8 also 2. So our conclusion, this is geometric sequence. Because R equal to, okay, they have common ratio. Let's look at question E. This time the given sequence is negative 12, negative 48, negative 96. Negative 12 first term, negative 48 second term, negative 96 is the third term. To find common ratio, we can use T2 divided by T1 as well as T3 divided by T2. Let's substitute. Negative 48 over negative 12 and negative 96 over negative 48. Negative 48 divided by negative 12 is 4. 96 divided by 48 is 2. So we do not get common ratio because T2 over T1 is 4, T3 over T2 is 2. Our conclusion for this one, this is not a geometric sequence. Because do not have common ratio. Let's proceed to the next example. This one is from example 4. Example 4, we want to solve the geometric sequence below. Let's discuss example 4b. Given the sequence 8, 16, 32. Number 1, we want to find the common ratio. So 8 is first term, 16 second term, 32 the third term. So to find R, we can do T2 divided by T1 and also T3 divided by T2. Substitute 16 over 8, 32 over 16. 16 over 8 equal to 32 over 16 also equal to 2. So common ratio R equal to. Second, we want to find the nth term. Formula to find nth term is Tn equal A multiplied by R power n minus 1. A is the first term, so from the sequence, we can see that the first term is 8. R, common ratio, we find earlier, 2. N minus 1. So this is the formula. Make sure do not multiply 8 and 2. If you write down 8 multiplied by 2, 16, and minus 1, this is wrong. Okay, we cannot multiply 8 and 2. You cannot multiply E and R. Okay, just leave it like this, right? Tn equal 8 multiply 2 power n minus 1. Question 3. We want to find the fourth term. So from the formula, Tn equal 8, 2 power n minus 1. We want to find the fourth term. So T4 equal 8, 2, 4 minus 1. So 2, 4 minus 1 is 3. 2 power 3 equal 8. 8 multiplied by 8 equals 64. So that is the answer. And then lastly, number 4. This time we want to find the sum of the first fourth term. So S4. S4 meaning that T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4. So the addition of all these terms. Okay, the first 4 terms. But instead of doing like this, we will use the formula. R, our R equal to, R is more than 1. So the formula that we will use is Sn equal A, R power n minus 1 over R minus 1. So this is for when R more than 1. Okay, let's substitute. We want to find S4. The A is 8. 2. AR is 2 power n. This time our n is 4. Two power 4, 16. 2 minus 1 is 1. So 16 minus 1, 15. Final answer, 8 multiplied by 15, 120. Example 5. Question from example 5b. We want to solve the geometric sequence below. The geometric sequence has 9 terms, and the first term is 3 over 4. With the first term 3 over 4, A equals 3 over 4. If the last term is 200 over 6, okay, mentioned earlier that this geometric sequence has 9 terms. When it's mentioned that the last term is 200 over 6, that is T9 equal 200 over 6. We want to find the common ratio and the fifth term of the sequence. So R and E5. Okay, let's use the information that we have. The first information that we have is T9 equal 200 over 6. The formula to find term is Tn equal AR power n minus 1. So now we have T9 equal A given earlier 3 over 4. Okay. R is the value that we want to find. N minus 1. Okay. Our n now is 9. So 9 minus 1. And T9 is equal to 200 over 6. 3 over 4 R power 8 equal 200 over 6. To find R, move 3 over 4 to the other side and it will become divide. So calculate, use your calculator. Calculate 200 over 6 divide by 3 over 4. And if you calculate correctly, you should get 400 over 9. And then we will move it to the other side. On the left, it is r power 8. So when we move to that side, it will become root. So 8 root. Punca kuasa 8. Punca kuasa 8 of 400 over 9. And the answer is, in decimal places. The answer is in decimals. Terlalu banyak perpuluhan. So to make it more accurate, we will just leave the final answer as 400 over 9 to 8 root. Punca kuasa 8, 400 per 9. This is the answer for R. And then next we want to find T5. T5 equal, the original formula is AR power n minus 1. We can substitute A 3 over 4. R, we can substitute the values that we find earlier. 400 over 9. 8th root. 8th root of 400 over 9. Power n minus 1. 5 minus 1. We can change 8th roots into power 1 over 8. 5 minus 1 is 4. And later on, we can simplify the power. 1 over 8 multiplied by 4. Okay, right here we apply the rule for index. 1 over 8 multiplied by 4. Simplify. We get 1 over 2. 1 over 2 is actually square root. So you can calculate the value of square root of 400 over 9. Ataupun 1/2 ni sebenarnya adalah punca kuasa 2. Punca kuasa 2. Kita boleh kira dengan kalkulator. Punca kuasa 2 400 per 9. And you get 20 over 3. As for the final answer, 20 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 4. And you get 5. So R equal 8 roots of 400 over 9. And T5 equal 5. Let's continue to discuss question example 5F. The third term and seventh term are 144 and 36864 respectively. From that sentence, we can get two information. The first information is T3 equal 144. And the second information is T7 equal 36864. Okay, find the sum of the first 5 terms of the geometric sequence. The question wants us to find as 5. Okay, let's use these two information that we have. Formula to find term is AR power n minus 1, and this time our n is 3. So 3 minus 1 equal 144. So AR square equal 144. You can name this as equation 1. Second information, T7 equal 36864. So AR power 7 minus 1 equal 36864. And then we get AR power 6 equal 36864. We can name this as equation 2. So when we have two equation here, we can use simultaneous equation. Bila kita ada dua equation macam ni, dua persamaan, untuk selesaikan kita boleh guna persamaan serentak. Okay, persamaan serentak, there are two methods in simultaneous equation. Either we use substitution method or we use elimination method. A divided by A. So R, I use elimination. Okay, divide. R power 6 divided by R power 2. So 6 minus 2. And then 36A 64 divided by 144. We get 2, 5, 6. R power 4 equal to 5, 6. So R power 4, move 4 to the other side, it will become 4th root. Okay, punca kuasa 4, 2, 5, 6. We get R equal 4. How to find A? We can substitute R back into either equation 1 or equation 2. Let's say we substitute into equation 1. So A, R, this time we know R is 4 square equal 144. So A equal 144 over 4 square, 16. And we get A equal 9. And since we know value for R, value for A, now we can find as 5. And since R more than 1, we use A multiplied by R power n minus 1 over R minus 1. This is for when R more than 1. Substitute A 9. Substitute R 4 power 5 minus 1 over 4 minus 1. Okay, you can straight away use your calculator to calculate the answer. And if you calculate correctly, you should get S5 equal 3069. Last question. This one is from example 4H. Given a geometric sequence, n equal 2 over 3 power n minus 1. Okay, number 1, we want to find the first term and common ratio. So we want to find A and we want to find R. Based on the given formula, we know that we can compare with the original formula. Original formula is Tn equal AR power n minus 1. So 2 over 3 here is A. And then 3 over here is R. So we don't have to calculate anything. Just compare the given formula and the original formula. We can see that A equal 2 over 3 and R equal 3. Number 2, find the 10th term. So to find the 10, we can use the given formula. Because we want to find T10 and equal 10. 10 minus 1 is 9 and 3 power 9 equal 19683. Multiply that by 2 over 3. We get final answer 13122. And then number 3, the question wants us to find the sum of the first 4th term. So we want to find S4. Since r is more than 1, the formula that we will use is a multiplied by r power n minus 1 over r minus 1. This is for when r more than 1. We substitute a 2 over 3, r 3. Our n is 4 because we want to find s4. 3 power 4 minus 1 over 3 minus 1. We can simplify 3 power 4. 3 power 4, use your calculator, is 81. 81 minus 1, you get 80 over 3 minus 1, 2. So 2 over 3 multiplied by 80 over 2, you get final answer 80 over 3. So that is all for today's class. Thank you very much.